Hi, I'm Margaret Moorhead, founder of Virtual Sewing Guild, and welcome to my sewing room. One of the questions I have gotten a whole lot in the past couple weeks is about water-soluble stabilizer. Why isn't my water-soluble stabilizer working? It's not holding up. Well, I've found that the answer to all of those questions this week was that they were using a water-soluble topper as a stabilizer. This topper is not a stabilizer. This is a water-soluble stabilizer. It's my favorite water-soluble stabilizers. There are other good ones out there, but don't confuse a stabilizer with a topper. Now this is clear, see-through, it's plasticky, and there are other ones that are similar to this, but they are much thicker. And you can use those as a stabilizer, but don't use this very thin topper as a stabilizer. So when you're working with water-soluble stabilizer, it is never going to tear away. If you want to remove the excess from your embroidery, you can't tear it. You're going to need to take your scissors and cut it. So hoop your stabilizer and your project together if that's what you choose, or hoop your stabilizer and float your project. Stitch out your design, remove the excess stabilizer with your scissors, and then rinse away all of the stabilizer that remains in your project. Now, what about this? This is a topper. It really doesn't add much, if any, stabilization to your project. So I had people who were hooping this in the hoop, then floating their project on top, and they were basting it, but it wasn't turning out because this is not a stabilizer, it's a topper. So when you're working with this, you'll hoop water-soluble stabilizer, float or hoop your project, and then put this on top of it. The function of this topper is to cover the top of your project and hold all the fibers down so they don't get in the way of stitching. So think of a lofty towel. It might have lots of loops sticking up, and if one loop is sticking up and your thread kind of goes next to it, that loop might still be sticking up when the embroidery is finished. But if you put this topper over it and then baste the topper in place, you don't want it moving around, or you could hoop it. I usually baste mine. Baste this in place. That holds all the loops of that towel in place so they lay just where they're supposed to while you do your embroidery. So when you're finished, you just rinse away this topper, and if you've used water-soluble stabilizer in the bottom of your project, you'll rinse that away at the same time. Another little tip about this water-soluble topping is to store it in a Ziploc bag and zip it closed when you're finished. It will keep that plastic from drying out, and it will last longer for you. I hope that this quick little tip helps to answer some of your questions about water-soluble stabilizer versus water-soluble topping. From my sewing machine to yours, happy creating.